What does the 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor get for fuel economy? What about performance and handling? Is this one of the best mid-size pickup trucks to buy today? You're going to find out in this video. I borrowed this truck from Camco Ford here in West Valley. Be sure to check out the inventory. Ask for Ken if you would like to purchase this. Let's go ahead and drive this truck. I want to see how easy it is to drive, maneuver, and is it worth the 60 grand price tag that it has. Before we get started, I want to show you the window sticker really quickly. This does have the 3-liter EcoBoost, which we'll go over the specs in a second with the 10-speed transmission. Here's a short listing of the standard equipment. This one does have the B-lock wheels. I'm going to assume those are going to be a little bit heavier compared to the stock ones. Also, it has a security code. Base price is $55,720. Destination is $1,595 with a total price of $59,035. And here are the fuel economy numbers. So 18 highway, 16 city, 17 combined. Let's see if we can beat that. Push button start. Now let's do something real quickly. Let's go ahead and add a phone. So if you go to phone list here, add phone.
Search for your vehicle on your device and select it once it is found.
Comes up as Ford Ranger.
Confirm that the pin displayed on sync matches the pin displayed on your device.
You can add all your contacts too.
Please stay alert to changing road conditions and use Sync's voice-activated features while your vehicle is in motion.
That was pretty easy. Enable. And voila. Now we have, I'm sure you guys don't want to see where I live at, do you? But yeah, now we have Apple CarPlay on here. So if you do like to use Spotify or even Waze, all those features are on here. So now I don't have a wire charger, so I'm just gonna put my phone on this wireless charger down below and let my phone just charge. Let's go ahead and get down the road. We just reset the fuel economy, or trip 1 for fuel economy. And we're gonna start off in the city, and right away we're gonna get onto the highway here in a second. But you do have a lot of adjustments on the steering wheel for your exhaust. Like I'm gonna go ahead and put it in sport. And for the steering, I like it a little stiffer. Oh yeah, that's how I like it. And for the suspension, we'll keep that in sport. They also have off-road too. Let's see how it feels overall. Brake feel, oh yeah, those are good. Yeah, those feel good. They're not touchy, they're not spongy. They're like perfect, nice bite. Stop start works great, by the way. Like every time I push down that brake, engine turns off. But I don't know how I feel about it. Does the engine still allow coolant to run through and oil to run through to keep the components, you know, from having heat soak? It just depends. Like that system could be an issue if you're doing a lot of high speeds, high boost scenarios. I probably would turn that off. You do have an option to disable that if you don't want it to come on. It's down here, I believe. Yep, right there. Has 3 clicks for the turn signal. Oh yeah, this thing has great power. Now it's about 50 degrees and these seats are too hot. So let's go and turn off the heated seats and steering wheel. And you can have all this come on automatically for you too. It's a little hard to do it down below. I like hard buttons for stuff like that. And yeah, this is just where everyone's going. They're making you go on the screen to just get the most basic things. I like buttons for those things for sure. Now we'll say these seats, they have great bolstering on the sides. They don't have perforated leather, so in the summertime they're going to definitely be hotter for sure because you don't have ventilated seat options. They do give you perforated leather on the steering wheel here, which is nice. That's going to help your hands-free better. Overall visibility out the mirrors are great. If you had to look out back, they don't allow you to drop those headrests down, however, which I would like to see. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, this feels good. If it sits high, it feels like it's just a little bit higher. I mean, this truck has basically 33-inch tires rounded off. It's like 32.7 inches, like 11 point something inches wide. They're pretty wide. And because this has that Baja suspension, that's why this truck is always going to ride so much better than the regular Rangers, because it's going to be a little bit softer. You don't have any leaves out back either. You're going to have just a coilover setup, so shock and spring together. Now if you need to pass one, yeah, it has really good get up and go. Let's go ahead and put it in manual mode. There is an M on the side of the shifter here that will allow you to do that. The shifts they're pretty quick for a truck. That's actually pretty good. So I would drive this truck in manual mode for sure. I feel as though I have a Corvette Z06, for example, and yes, the transmission in that car shifts way faster than this one. Like it's instantaneous. It almost feels like you're about to shift. It knows you're gonna shift, so it's already doing it for you. This one is a little bit more delayed, but the half-ton trucks, these are like gear limiters, so they don't work for a sporty driving like this. Now I'm not sure for the Raptors because I haven't driven one in a while, but for the regular F-150s, or really I could really say for Chevy, for example, I do know for theirs, this is a gear limiter. So when you go to downshift, it doesn't automatically downshift the transmission. It's just gonna hold that gear for you. But yeah, so far you can hear a little bit of wind noise. It's a little windy today, just a little bit. And the exhaust is not drony, so if I want to put that in quiet mode, oh yeah, all I hear now is just the engine. That's it. That's nice. That's a nice feature. So if you don't want a drony exhaust, because over time, once it breaks in, it could get a little bit more dronier. At about 60 miles an hour, actually we're going 65 basically. Let's go down to 60 miles an hour. The RPMs are like around maybe 1800, give or take. If you get up to, let's get up to 70. I can't stay here too long. Yeah, that puts us right over, actually it puts us right at 2000. That should be 10th gear. So yeah, I think that's where this is gonna really win for like fuel economy, is like staying under. So yeah, the sweet spot for this is definitely 70 miles an hour. If you go on 75, 80, you're lugging over 2,000 RPMs, and that's gonna really hurt fuel economy. But yeah, this thing rides so good. The Fox shocks, live valves, this is why you buy this truck. You're gonna have double wishbone front suspension. That's gonna really help and tame the ride. The tires are a little bit softer too, so that's gonna help as well. Now something that's interesting on this truck is it does have the Watts link out back, which is pretty interesting that they did that. This is like the only truck that I know of that has that type of suspension. So yes, they did a pretty darn good job overall with this truck. But as of right now, we're at 12.3 MPG. I've just been on the highway here, nothing else, and we're definitely hurting on the fuel economy. Like, there's a little bit of a headwind for sure. You can probably hear it. But yeah, I'm cruising at 65 miles an hour, and this road, I mean, there's a little bit of hills here and there with the bridges, but I would hope to be closer to like 15 or something like this. But yeah, you're going to take a beating with this 3-liter with these tires and this little bit heavier truck, because it is geared towards going off-road. So you have bigger skid plates. You're going to hurt a little bit for fuel economy. This does have lane keep assist. It also has adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring. So all those safety features are part of this truck here. Something else I like about this one too is it does have dual climate control. So sometimes as we've gotten older, my wife and I noticed that we have different temperatures. When we were younger, we always had the same temperature, and that has changed, I feel as though, because as you get older, you know, your body changes, especially for women. But yeah, that's why I love having that. Now, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see up here, but you do have your auxiliary switches, place up here for your sunshades. And this is a small truck. If you have older kids, this may not be as fun for them, because that back seat, I'm 6'1", I'm all the way back right now. I mean, I could come up a little bit because we have a telescoping steering wheel. If I put it all the way in, I could come up maybe an inch, maybe. That's it. I mean, I feel like I would rather just be further back and just pull the steering wheel out just a little bit more right there. That's perfect. Oh yeah, that's really comfortable. But these seats are really soft. Ford has always done well with their seats. No one's complaining there. And as I said, man, this is a really nice truck. Let's see, do I have the exhaust off still? Yeah, I still have it in quiet mode. Let's put it in Baja. Oh yeah, you can really hear that. It's not loud, and I wouldn't say it's better sounding than the F-150 Raptor. I think that the 3.5 has a little bit better sound to it. It's a little bit louder, but yeah, it definitely does wake up the exhaust from this truck. I do like the feel of this one. I've driven the ZR2 Colorado and AT4X, which is the same truck basically. I haven't driven the Tacoma yet, but hopefully in time I'll have a chance to drive one of those. But yeah, so far I'm impressed. This is a nice truck. You know, if you're not looking to buy a big pickup and you want something that rides like a car but still has the capability of going off-road or going hunting or towing a small trailer, maybe towing your side-by-side, this is definitely something you got to put on your list. I think that this does a lot more for people than car does. People who buy Audi, RS3s, or you know, any of those cars, Honda, Civic, Type Rs, they buy those and then they want something that still is fun to drive, and then they go and pick one of these. And so it still has a bed to go to Lowe's in, it still has the capability if you want to go down the beaten path and go fishing. It has a lot of stuff that it offers for under $60,000, but basically $60,000. Here are the numbers on the door. GVWR 6790, 17 by 8.5 wide wheels, and then here's the payload, 1,311 pounds. We just stopped at the midpoint, 14.5 MPGs. We've driven just under 10 miles, so it's gonna be about 20 miles round trip. I'll be honest with you guys, I think that if I were in the market for a mid-size pickup, this one is really high on my list. The only sucky thing about the Ford Rangers are they're harder to get, so dealers are getting MSRP for these. Now if you have a good relationship with your dealer, or if you're obviously shopping it with something else, they might give you a discount, but some dealers are even marking these over MSRP too. And people are buying them. So that's the problem with these Ranger Raptors, is they're not as easy to get. So if you're looking at all of them and you're not, you know, really sure which one you want, if you're going off a price, this one might be out of reach for some. And there's a waiting list at some dealers for these too. So overall, the stop start works great. I have the AC on too. It's 57 degrees outside, so it's warm today. And you see right there, it says off-road use only for this exhaust. So let's just take it out of there real quickly. We'll put it in sport. Isn't that interesting how they do that? Pretty cool. This is the 3-liter twin-turboed V6 that Ford offers in their Ranger Raptor. It's gonna have 405 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. This does have a 20.3 gallon fuel tank, so you guys saw the fuel economy numbers. This thing's gonna be a little thirsty, especially with these little bit more aggressive tires. Also, it does have 10.5 to 1 compression, 10-speed transmission behind it. Here we go. Drive auto, but I did put it in sport. I wanted to see how it would do by itself without the 4 auto, and honestly, with these tires, it did really good. You could probably hear the tire skirting just a little bit, but I didn't lay into it. I did like kind of go and then give it gas basically. That did hurt fuel economy though. We are definitely a lot lower, but hey, for a truck, that's not too bad. We are 4,000 feet above elevation, and that does affect turbocharged engine based off of my findings. I didn't think it did either, but yes, it does affect it. So you have to take that into consideration for my test, unfortunately. When I was in Maryland, I was, what, 800 feet above sea level, I think? So yeah, it does hurt it. Now, as far as the transmission goes, we're at 192 degrees. It does show it in here. For the engine oil temp, we're at 208. Engine oil pressure is under 30 psi, which seems kind of low, but the engine's warm now, so it's not a big deal. And I thought it showed basically the elevation on here, but I don't see that it shows the elevation. But yeah, overall, this is probably one of the best trucks. I do have it in normal mode again. When I did the 0 to 60, I had it in sport. So we should be back soon. I'll show you guys where we end off at and see just how much it's going to cost to drive this truck for 100,000 miles. We just pulled back in. We drove 19.1 miles, almost 30 minutes, 16.6 MPG, and it shows we averaged about 43 miles an hour. Now, obviously, if you're buying this for fuel economy, you're buying the wrong truck. But it's still nice to see how much this truck can potentially cost you down the road. So that's why I did this video, for those people wondering. And listen, when you get a wider truck with bigger tires and no valance on the front end, it's going to be heavier because of the skid plates, the running boards, the tires, everything's going to weigh this truck down, so you're working a little bit harder. I did notice at higher speeds when you push the brakes, this truck feels heavy. It does feel heavy with these brakes, so you definitely notice that. And obviously these tires are not built for the best performance for braking and on-road performance, so you have to keep that in consideration too. But overall, the performance of it feels good. I mean, 0 to 60, 7 seconds, that's pretty darn good for a heavy truck like this. Also, the seating, these seats are very comfortable. Low road noise from the tires. You know, honestly, now that I think about it, I don't think I ever thought about road noise from these tires. These tires were quiet. I heard, God bless America, by the way, I heard the wind noise more than I heard the road noise. So yes, even with these tires, they definitely are quiet. These are the newer ones, KO3s, and so far so good. Hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like this content. If I have a chance, maybe I'll put this up against a Chevy Colorado ZR2, or if I have a chance and get a Toyota Tacoma, maybe I'll put one up against that as well. They have two. They have the TRD Pro, which is the Baja truck, and then they have the Trail Hunter, which is the off-road version. So either one should be fine. But yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. See you soon.